Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining wherever you're joining from. I see there's a lot of good chats already starting in the chat here. So reminder, if you have a question you want to make sure that I see, start your message with the letter Q because it puts it into a different column on my screen here. Otherwise, things are going to get lost in the scroll back pretty fast, I can tell. All right, hello, welcome. We have a busy week coming up. So busy week coming up with a launch event on Tuesday, which IT Never Gets Old says, does the mystery product have to remain a complete mystery until Tuesday? Not a complete mystery. We know more information about it now. So I'm just going to post this link in the chat, which is from B&H. So on Tuesday morning, Pacific time, noon on the East Coast. Make sure my screens are in the right spot. Yeah, and there is Tuesday in store. If you're in New York, you should definitely go to this. If you are not in New York, then you can join the B&H live stream, which I almost went to. I almost was part of it, but I just can't quite make it work with my schedule. But you might recognize a few familiar faces here. So they will all be doing a live stream from the store, but I will also be doing a live stream on my channel here. So you will not want to miss it. It looks like they're planning on going for only an hour. I am almost certain we will be going for more than an hour on this channel. So you can visit both. So this is what we know now about what this new thing is, revolutionizing content creation. They say it's exciting new future for content creators. Okay, going after the content creator market for sure. Something new. And we do have a sneak peek of it now. So this is a very nice silhouette of the product, which is about all I can say right now. So that is what we know, and that's what's going on. So on Tuesday, I will be doing a live stream from here because I couldn't make it to New York, but I will be answering questions. I will be doing a demo. I will, I'll be doing a demo of it here. I will also put out, I've already filmed several videos about this, and I am considering just putting them all out at the same time. And I'm kind of curious to hear your thoughts as the live audience or the replay audience about this. So there's going to be several, I'm sure, other creators who are going to be dropping videos at the same time. My videos there's 4. One is like a 7-minute kind of what is this? One is a 30-minute how to use this in situation 1. Another is a 14-minute of how to use it in situation 2. And the fourth one is, oh my god, I've already forgotten what the fourth one is. Make sure I don't show anything on the screen when I do this. The fourth one is, oh yeah, it's like a 30-minute like beginners getting started video, but like going through a bunch of features. So yeah, I definitely do know more about the thing. That is true. The best way to get people curious about what you're releasing is to not tell anybody what it is. Yeah, I am disappointed I couldn't make it. It was like, I just have too much. If it wasn't for this event that I'm doing for work this week, I would absolutely have gone. But yeah, oh well. I'm really sneaky. How did I keep a lid on it all? It's been a challenge. I'm very, very excited to not have to keep this a secret for very much longer. Can I say if it would be a contender for the portable conference switcher? I cannot say that. Nope. Dylan says, guessing it's like the Streamer X, but more HDMI ports. Some good thoughts. Is that some good thoughts? Yeah. So, I can't answer any other questions right now. So you can stop asking me about the device. All I can share is what I just shared, which is what is now on their website. There is a, you can get kind of an idea of the form factor at least, but that's about it. I like how they didn't even put any of the text labels, like the text printing on this, so you can't even, no product name, no indication of what the buttons do. But yeah, that's that was more than I expected them to tease. Anyway, so you know. Here's a question I can answer. Well, I mean, sort of. Is vertical or horizontal stream the best? I mean, it depends on who you ask and what for, right? Like, if your audience is going to be watching on their phones, then you're going to probably want to do a vertical stream so they're not watching a tiny little thing. But if your audience is mostly not on phones, like on TVs or computers, probably horizontal. It's not really like a question of whether one's better or the other. It's a question about where's your audience. I wonder how much Rode is paying for all this hype. It has been a long time coming. Well, I will say they have not paid me anything. I am doing this all just because. So they've sent me the device. They sent me to LA for paid for the flight and hotel. That was a sneak peek I got in January. But I'm not part of like a PR campaign for launch other than just having the device. I'm just genuinely excited about it. So that's kind of how it works with working with YouTubers, creators. Sometimes people get actually excited about something and just make videos about it. Sometimes people do pay for press, but the day these small audio mixers have LR XLR outs, I will buy half a dozen of them. Wait, I thought oh right, the Rodecaster has only 1/4 inch outputs, but hey, that's better than some. Yeah, been playing around with this too. It's been fun. With most is X better than Y questions, I find the answer is almost always it depends. It's true. There are, I feel like the only times that there's like a clear answer is when the two things are trying to do the same thing and then one does it better than the other, right? But like most of the time, these things are not trying to do exactly the same thing. OBS is limited to using 3 video inputs. Which other option can I stream using 5 camera inputs? Is that true? I didn't think there was a limit of how many camera inputs you can bring into OBS. I thought it was just limited by your hardware. I have never done this with OBS because I like to have all my video signals being routed through hardware rather than through a computer. So I only use OBS for the chat graphics here and the map that's in the countdown. But the all the video signals I go through hardware switchers. So and that's like, you know, you'll find a ton of videos on that on the channel here, but you know, anything from the ATEM Mini, the OC Go Stream, the YoloBox, which I actually do have set up here today. I was just installing a firmware update for it to check out the new feature. But the but yeah, I was pretty sure you can add more inputs. It's just a matter of how many USB things you can connect to your computer, or if you can get like a desktop capture card. They will keep not being useful for in-person events as a combo mixer until they put balanced in and outs. Yeah. I wonder if we're reaching the market saturation point for these small consumer switcher streaming devices. So this is a really interesting question, and I think that we have absolutely reached the market saturation for devices that are trying to be equivalent to the ATEM Mini. The ATEM Mini it was a huge deal when they launched the first ATEM Mini that was, like a scaled down version of broadcast production gear. It was a huge deal. It made it extremely affordable to people. It like brought it to a whole new market. That was pretty significant, right? And then we saw immediately a whole bunch of other companies do similar things to the ATEM Mini. Probably the biggest difference, the earliest one that was the most different is probably the YoloBox, where, and this was the original YoloBox, not even, this is the Ultra, but the original now is several years old. It was, definitely going after the same kind of like small production use case, but it worked totally differently. And then there's now, a lot of stuff in between. And I think that, like, even in the last couple of weeks of this live stream, going through this this use case I'm trying to do of like, let's just film a small event. Let's, I need to be able to grab a couple cameras and slides, but then also feed a projector. I think it demonstrates that there's still room for improvement in all these devices, because there isn't actually anything that does all of the things exactly the way I want it for this. And this is not that unique of a setup. Like, this is a pretty typical small corporate event production. It's not like this is, I don't know, esports where you need 20 game screens coming into the stream. And I don't know, this is not far-fetched. This is a pretty simple event. Like, you have a bunch of people watching one person on stage with some slides. It's just that there really isn't anything, like the closest that we get are these two, the OC and the ATEM Mini Extreme. But like was mentioned in the chat a minute ago, the audio options on these don't really cut it either. So, the audio output is a headphone jack. So you really have to run your audio through a separate device in order to get this to work, where you're also feeding speakers and like a wireless mic feeding the speakers. So I do think there's still room for improvement, even in the small production market. So yeah, that's my take. Yeah, Bailey says, any new developments to your portable conference rig? Speaking of, not yet. I will hopefully, well, it's coming up really fast now. The event is on the 5th, which means I actually only have one more Sunday between now and then. So on Sunday next week, that will be my last live stream before I actually do that event. So hopefully I will have things sorted out by then, and to have decided what I'm going to take. We will talk more about it then. That's all I will say. Okay, more questions coming in the chat. Matt says, I'm so happy with my YoloBox Ultra because even though it doesn't have XLR, it allows my Rodecaster Pro to digitally to the Ultra. That is, yeah, that's, I think, a really good combo. And I think that's a good example of one of the advantages for the Rodecaster Duo and the Rodecaster Pro 2 is this is a very solid audio mixer with a lot of good options. And you can run, the 1/4-inch outputs into speakers in a room. It's not XLR out, but it is better than a headphone jack out. And then USB audio from this into like the YoloBox or the Director Mini. So that way you really do all of your audio routing in the Rodecaster, and then just the video stream in the video switcher. Do you really want to put all of your eggs in one basket? Reminds me of a TV VCR combo. If one goes, you lose both. Yeah, that's fair. There's definitely a balance to strike. And also is always a question of if one device is doing a bunch of things, is it going to do any of them well? And that is absolutely a fair question. And we've seen pretty strong examples of devices on all sides of that spectrum. So yeah, and then there's the question of like at the live event, what happens when gear fails? Like if the YoloBox crashes, is it going to, if it's also running your speakers in the room, then you've also lost your in-person production. So that's, that's something to consider. So that is an advantage of having the Rodecaster for the like in-room audio and then a YoloBox or Director Mini for the stream. That way, at least you know that like the room audio is going to be safe if everything else goes down. Most manufacturers of video mixers always concentrate on adding more video inputs and forget that aux outs are just as important, which is why I stay away from the one program and one preview out mixers. I 100% agree. And this is like kind of the source of, well, it's why the Ghost Stream, the OC, is pretty unique in that regard, because it is one of the few that actually has two HDMI outs, so you can assign them to more than just program and preview and multi-view, because you can use them as aux outs, which is really, really useful. But I agree, most of the other ones have forgotten that that's like important, and yeah, we need aux outs. It's once you get up to the ATEM Constellation line, or I guess the television studio line too, like those obviously they understand you need aux outs for things. So guess you can shell out cash for a Constellation for me at Animitis, then you were good. Gwen says, there's definitely room for growth innovation in the one-person small crew space. I do a lot of gigs like that, and I'm always looking for ways to improve pain points like amount of gear I need. Yeah, and I think this is why I'm doing this event. It's not a complicated event, and I'm making it more complicated than I need to. But I'm doing that because I'm trying to also like challenge myself to build a small kit that's not just me lugging 100 pounds of gear, because like I can solve it very easily with an ATEM Mini Extreme or a Constellation or whatever, right? Like I can very easily do this event, but I want to try to see like what is the smallest amount of gear I can bring and make it also easy to replicate so that other people can create the same setup and not have to spend like $3,000 in gear. So oh yeah, AV Matrix has aux outs and SDI HDMI both in one unit. I forgot that they had a combo SDI and HDMI. I forgot about that. That's a good point. Am I cycling to the event? Yeah, I mean, I don't have a car, so it's either I cycle or transit. I guess I could take a lift. But no, I'm going to try to... I'm actually debating getting a Pelican case that fits on my bike trailer. My trailer is the what's it called? Burley Travoy. It is... Get a picture on the screen. So this is the trailer that I have, and so it like hitches to the seat post, so you can use it on any bike. And then I'm pretty sure that there's a Pelican case that fits exactly in that little space between the wheels. So that's my plan, is to just toss it all in there. Did I see John Barker's broadcast bike video earlier this week? Yes, I did. That was very cool. That's a solid bike. I would love to do that. I don't really have a place to park anything like that right here yet, but hopefully I will soon. How far do I need to ride to the event? I mean, it's downtown, so it's not that far. Thankfully, it's not like out in Beaverton or something. Andy Rush says, do we know if anybody who saw a demo of the ATEM 962 update with Visca support and audio routing at IBC is still not released yet? I didn't see... Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I'm actually really excited about the audio routing. but so they've had audio routing in the Constellation 8K for forever, but apparently it's coming to the 4ME, which is the one I have, which I'm very excited about because um, because that means, yeah, it means I can do like better. I can do ISO recording with audio sources, a lot more flexibility. Actually, one of the things that I was trying to demo, I can't really demo well, which this would help with, which is on the YoloBox also just released an update, which is auto switching. So the they have a video follows audio feature now, and if you go in there, you can configure like all of your audio sources and choose like what happens when audio is detected on HDMI 1. So like you can see I was like experimenting with a little podcast setup. Why is the OBSBot zoomed in so much? That's creepy. So you know, you could do like, let's reselect the audio sources. So ideally, oh, only 3 are supported. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So ideally you would have separate microphones for your 2 guests coming in as separate audio channels into the YoloBox. And then I would do like, okay, when HDMI 2 has audio, I'm going to switch to that. When 3 has audio and Lily's talking, I'm going to switch to her camera. When they both have audio, I'm going to switch to the wide shot. And when it's silent, I'm also going to go to the wide shot, right? So I'd probably set it up this way. And then once that's turned on, you know, it'll auto switch like you would expect. The problem is I can't test this because the way that these recordings are getting played in, it's just one audio channel. It's just like, you know, it's the same audio going to each of these. So I can't even demo it. But what I could do if I had the audio mapping feature on the ATEM is run these video clips all through individual separate hyperdecks and then do the audio routing on the outputs. So, yeah, that is why I'm excited about it. It's so Portland that you're looking for a Pelican case for your bike trailer. I'm expecting Fred Armisen cameo on the screen any moment. I mean, that show is like mostly a documentary, to be honest. What you want is a rig you can cycle into the room and just switch on. That's what I actually want, which is basically what the broadcast bike is. And I just can't have anything right now that is that large. I don't have a place to put a bike that large yet, but hopefully the driveway will be done soon, and then I can do that, although I wouldn't want to leave it outside, so hopefully I can fit it into the little shed I'm going to build. But yeah, that's what I would love to just have, like, roll up, open the box, run the cables for the cameras, and then everything's good. And I'm actually considering bringing the Lumix box cameras because I have one over here. One of the challenges with events, especially when they're in small spaces, is power, and these can be powered over Ethernet. So I was thinking, like, that actually is kind of a good use for these, which is I just run Ethernet and SDI into the, or HDMI even, into this, and then I don't have to worry about finding a power cord near the camera, because I'm gonna have one like far away from the table. So that's the thought. So that reduces power adapters that I have to bring and extra cords, because Ethernet cords are pretty small. Definitely considering that. Let's see, where was I? Have I tested the new firmware from Rodecaster that introduces the virtual channel control? No, I haven't. I'm not on the beta track for the Rodecaster Duo. Plane spotting. Question. Relatively new to multicam streaming with the ATEM Mini Pro and OBS. Is there a way to show multiple inputs on the same scene from the ATEM without picture-in-picture mode? Multiple inputs on the same scene without picture-in-picture. No, not with the Mini. So what you're looking for is what Blackmagic calls super source. So super source is what lets me bring in or do this kind of layout where it's 2 inputs or more. So the ATEM Mini Extreme has this, and a lot of the larger ATEMs. But this is where you can add up to 4 video sources. So I have box 1 and 2 enabled right now, but let's say I turn on box 3 and it's just set to black, but you can see it's down there. So I could choose any of my sources in here. So I could say like, let's bring in the Apple TV in a little box, and then I can move it around. This becomes like a separate camera angle that you can switch to, like one of your other camera angles. So rather than picture-in-picture where it's like the picture-in-picture turns on and then off on top of whatever else is underneath, this is like fixed. So it's like in there as a source, and I can just cut to this whenever I want. It's a really, really useful feature. I wish the ATEM Mini Pro had it, but it makes sense that it's only in the Extreme. IDJ Mike says, not sure if I missed the topic. What are your thoughts about the YoloBox Extreme? Yeah, that was, I think I mentioned it last week, because last week was during IBC. I don't think it's not, there's no product pages out yet, so I can't like show a picture of it, but it is basically the YoloBox Ultra with 4 more HDMI inputs. I think this is another good example, and this is why I was hoping to find a picture of it. This is another good example of forgetting that we need aux outs. So adding an aux output to that would have been very, very useful, especially once you're getting to up to 8 inputs. I am really struggling to find a reason why I would need 8 inputs where I also don't need an aux out, because even my small example of filming a conference, I need an aux out or another switcher. And that's because in order to feed the projector, I don't want the projector to be what's being streamed, obviously. It needs to be the computer slides or a break screen. So that's what an aux out is for. And I just do not think I can find an example of when I need 8 inputs that I don't need that. Because I need that even with only 4 inputs. So let me know what you think. But I think they missed out on that opportunity. We need proper audio ins and outs as well. Yeah, it's true. The audio looks like the audio features didn't really change on the YoloBox Extreme. Okay, but I will say though there is an update in the YoloBox. Maybe I should just share the actual screen here. There is an update in the YoloBox which is to their audio tab, and this is actually a lot better than it used to be. So this is good to see that there's at least they're doing some improvements there. So the you get better buttons. You get a headphone monitoring option now, so you can choose whether you want. You can choose whether you want your individual HDMI sources to also be monitored. So if you have like your microphone running into one of these slots and you don't want to hear yourself, but you want to monitor the rest of the audio, you can turn it off. So that's super useful now. At least have a headphone mix. And then they moved the line and mic settings into this screen. So they have a noise reduction feature. I haven't actually tried that out yet. And then the audio gain, and so that's on a different screen now, which is, in my opinion, easier to use. So at least they're doing something. Gwen says, for your conference you're doing, are you considering incorporating the DJI Pocket? I've been trying to figure out how I can make it more useful as a live camera, but still work in progress. I wasn't planning on bringing it just because I feel like it would only be useful as a wide shot for the room, and ideally I want that wide shot in the back of the room, not a side angle. So I can't really run it into the back of the room because I can't get a USB that long. So Also, then I'm forced to use a switcher that has USB video inputs, which at least like the GoStream does, so that's good. But no ATEM then. And yeah. Am I on Ultra version 2.6? Yeah, that sounds like what I just updated to. I just ran the update before this. Let's see. Version, yeah, 2.6. Have I seen the new box cameras from Panasonic? They'll replace your cameras. No, I haven't. Did they already make a new BGH? Did they make a BGH 2? I don't know. I don't know what camera that is. I haven't seen anything about it yet. Tell me what it's called so I can look it up. Do I think the house will be finished enough for you to move into your suite by the end of the year? It is looking like probably not at this point, which is, it's going to be close though. It's going to be really close. This week, things are going to start cranking along this week. We've been slowly posting updates on the house files because things have been moving kind of slow this summer. There's been a lot of little details, but I'll leave a link to the channel because there is at least a new video as of, I think it was like a couple weeks ago about the bathrooms, and there will be more coming out soon because things are starting to move fast now. Oh, good question. When using the BGH1s for a remote site, how do you deal with the camera control focus exposure since they require a computer attached to the Ethernet? So this is actually one of the reasons that I was thinking about doing it, because if I do have a camera in the back of the room, I don't want to have to go, or at the front of the room actually is worse. I don't want to have to go run over there to adjust settings. So what I would do is I would actually set up a little network, because I always recommend setting up a little network for your gear when you're going somewhere on site anyway. Like bring your own little router, plug in the venue's internet into that router, or if you have to use Wi-Fi, then it can get on the Wi-Fi. And then all of your gear is on your own local network. So you control the IP addresses, and you can make sure they're all, assigned ahead of time and all your gear can talk to each other. So if I do that, then I already have the network created for the Lumix cameras, and I can just use the desktop software because I will have my own network, and they should just show up in the list here. And then I can actually do the focus and exposures and stuff remotely, which is really, really useful. So I don't have to be running back and forth when I realize that something needs to be tweaked. It's no longer a Lumix. Oh. Ooh, Matt says I have 7 live feeds on my Ultra, 3 cameras, 1 iPad, USB Pocket 3, an NDI iPhone, and NDI Tail Air. What is that? What are you shooting? What's the use case? That's a lot of, because I can connect a ton of inputs, but like, what am I actually doing with it? Andre says, this is really silly, but I'm wondering what you do if you USB out from an ATEM to a major wall director. Do you get any audio in? Such a long time owning these, but never tried. Pretty sure, yes. I'm pretty sure that works. I don't have actually, I might have it over here, and it might be quick enough to set up. Let's find out. I should have a USB port available to do this with. So I don't think I have the power adapter, so I hope these batteries are charged. Oh, right. That doesn't fit into this with the batteries. Oh, well. You gotta be making bank to be able to justify 2K for a BGH1. Well, I couldn't justify 2K for a BGH1. That's why I found them all for a super, super discount used. And I got them for like, I think it was like 1,000 each, which I was much more happy about. Let's see. I think I have a USB from an ATEM. broken out onto the patch panel down there. Let's see if that is true. And I guess I can get this out of the way, since I did the road trip for BGH1s. That was a nice video. That was a fun video to put together. It was one of the few vlog style videos that I've done. Oh my gosh, there's so many things connected to this. I do wish this had USB-C power instead of 12 volt DC. That's my one complaint about it. Okay, you get out of here and switch over to Director Mini time. What was I doing? I was trying to connect USB. Oh, right. It's not USB-C either. Okay. Let's see if this works. I don't actually know if that's gonna work. And then let me grab HDMI 1, HDMI 2. That way we got some more videos in here. So now I've got, there we go, HDMI 1, HDMI 2, and I have a webcam. That is my ATEM. So the question was, do we get audio? And I can go look here. Maybe I should plug, I don't have the adapter. Do I have the adapter? It's somewhere over here. Is it this one? Yes. And find the clear cord. This is messier than I like to have this set up. Oh well. Okay, if I do that, then duplicate screen. And now that was the wrong HDMI cord. It is, where'd you go? It's the one without the label. There we go. Now I can properly show the Director Mini. So the question was, what's happening? Webcam. There we go. Okay. The question was, do we get audio from the webcam source? And I believe the answer is yes. USB audio. Yeah, there it is. So that is the audio from, let's see, let's turn that one off. So now the audio in the Director Mini is coming from the ATEM's audio. So that is, sorry I made you open a can of worms. It's fine. Now I've got this connected so we can play around with it some more if we want. Is it technically a road trip? It was, most of the trip was on a plane. Yeah, it was mostly on a plane. Oh, sorry. The links are blocked, I guess. I don't have a link here, and I don't think I have it in the admin either. Yeah. And no, I did not see the link to the AV Matrix Shark S6, but I can look it up. AV Matrix Shark S6. Oh, this is new. So they added a screen. Oops, jeez. Added a screen to it. Interesting. Could be. Oh, and they have a mix of SDI and HDMI. This is really interesting. You're right. 4 SDI ins, 2 HDMI ins, and then multi-view out as HDMI, which makes sense. Program out of both, and 2 SDI aux outs. This is a really interesting device. Weirdly, no audio at all. No audio inputs. So the only way to get audio in is through HDMI or SDI. That feels like an oversight. Is there anything on the side that I'm missing? Oh, there it is. Okay. They have 2 mic ins. Line out small, USB out. This is, I don't love that these are mic inputs. Hopefully you can change them to line inputs also. And then I don't see a picture of the other side of it. So I'm guessing it's blank. Interesting though. This is really interesting. I had missed this somehow. You see the same problem of line inputs just kills the opportunity to hook up a soundboard. Yeah, exactly. Because now, like, how do you bring the, or even USB audio in? Because at least with USB audio in, you can take the Rodecaster Duo audio in. Matt says, my weekly live stream, senior tech being retired, I try to help people 5 decades of AV work talking about the Extreme versus the Ultra and why the Ultra is all I need. Cool. Well, that is very cool. Oh, I mean balanced inputs. Yes, exactly. Remote control on the Shark. Good question. I haven't, if I remember correctly, the last time I checked out an AV Matrix, they didn't have any remote control options, which kind of also kind of kills it for me because it's often too cumbersome to deal with the buttons on the device. AWUB50. That must be the camera. AWUB50. Let's look at that camera. Aha, it is a... It looks an awful lot like a BGH1. There's an extra button over here. But these buttons are all in the same spot. The back is exactly the same. Yep, exactly the same on the back. USB, HDMI, yep. Interesting that it's not a Lumix branded. The PTZ is another thing I was thinking about for this. And I kind of on a whim have a PTZ controller head coming in the mail on Tuesday. It is these things I feel like they got a lot cheaper. They used to be a lot more expensive. This one is I'm going to drop in a link, but I'm not promising anything about it right now because I have not even, it has not even arrived yet. But this is the PTZ head that I'm getting because I was like, you know what? It's $85, which I feel like these all used to be hundreds of dollars. So why not try it? It is, I'm sure, not going to be the best thing in the world, but it's cheap enough that I can experiment. I feel like these all used to be at least $300, so that's cool. The prices come down, but yeah, I'm gonna try to I'm gonna see if I can see what happens if I put this onto the PTZ head, and then maybe I'll replace my back camera with that because that camera is really annoying to have to move around when I move these things around, and I would love to be able to control that. But then it might also be good for events, so we'll see. 4K multi-purpose camera is both better and worse than the usual word salad product names. AV Matrix Shark can be controlled by web interface and IP address. Okay, that's promising. And honestly, $1,000 isn't too bad of a price for the for 6 inputs with SDI and HDMI. The AWUB50 is a full frame camera, so it's more equivalent to the S1H. Oh yeah, fair enough. Haven't seen pricing for it yet. Yeah, interesting. I feel like this show is usually about opening up a can of worms in a good way. Yeah. That is very true. Oh, here's a question I missed from earlier. VM. Oh, it's because there's no Q. What Android mobile app can you recommend that can record in HD and stream? I don't have a ton of Android experience yet. I'm still brand new. I am carrying an Android phone around now. So at least trying to get familiar with how things work there, but I haven't done a ton of experimenting yet. Let's see. Recording in HD and recording and streaming. That's interesting. At least the apps that come to mind don't do both. Usually it's like there's a streaming app like Lyrics Broadcaster or a recording app like the Blackmagic app. RB Media says, what's the best camera picture profile setting for live streaming, e.g. for Canon DSLRs? So I haven't had a Canon camera in a very long time, but my I think it depends on like what you're filming, whether you're inside or outside or how much light you have. But I would just try to get something that looks as close to how you want the picture to look at the end. Turns out I don't like color grading, so I've just defaulted to, I don't even know what all these cameras are on. These are Lumix cameras that you're seeing right now. So like, I can go in and, I think I actually have I'm just on standard on this one. But I do have the white balance set manually. And that's because I did want to make sure that all the cameras are the same white balance. So but I'm just going for like, I want the picture to look good out of the camera and never touch it again. So yeah, I just look for like the standard, and I try to make it not look too stylized either. There's a Micro Four Thirds also. I don't need more cameras. I have plenty of cameras. No, honestly, I'm happy with the BGH ones though. They're great. White balance to me is mostly an approximate science, i.e., looks good. So I'm mostly in the same boat as you, except the one thing that I do, at least like have some number sense is with white balance, because if you control the lighting in the room, then you can actually have better control. So let's see, can I demonstrate this? I think I actually can. Let me get my light iPad out. So let's see how many lights are on. Let me turn off. Oh, all the names of these are all wrong now. Shoot. Let me turn off. I think it's this one. Yes. Okay. So now I have really just one light coming in on here on me. It's like up to the left of it's right above this monitor. It's up there. So if I turn, let's see, that one would be, I believe, this one. So if I turn that off, this light is partially from my monitor and partially from the light that is, you can tell it's illuminating the top of my hand. It's for the top down. It's so you can see what's on the desk. So this is the key light is gone. So I'll turn that back on, but now I can adjust the white balance of it. So the white balance of that light is set to 4,500. But if I change the white balance of this light to like 6,500, you can see things look a lot different, right? So if I go down to 4,500, this is the look that I am happy with. So but let me tweak it to 6,500, and then you'll see it's like super blue, right? Well, I can also go into the camera, and in the camera settings, I could adjust the white balance here to compensate. So white balance color temperature is 5,000 right now, which means the light previously was below, it was 4,500, and this was 5,000. So if I adjust this to 500 below the new white balance of the light, which is 6500. So if I adjust this to 6000, my face should look the same as it did before. And yeah, I think it does. So this should be roughly equivalent to, ooh, you know what I can do? I can grab a couple seconds of this recording and then put it side by side. So this is the 6500 white balance in the light with 6000 in the camera. And then let me start a new file, and I'll go change this back down to 45. Wait, what was it? Was it? Oh shoot! Now I forgot what it was. 4500. And I look very blue, so let me turn this back down to 4500. I think it was 4000. Nope. 5000. It was, oh shoot, 500 above. Let's try this again. Okay, this is my normal lighting. Camera's at 5000. Light is at 4500. So the light is 500 below the camera. And now let's change both. So the light is going to go up to 6500, and the camera needs to go to 7000. And let's adjust the camera to 7000, and now we're back. Okay, so now this is the 7000, the camera's at 7000 and the light's at 6500. And I've recorded both of these, and now I can pull up these clips and put them side by side. So let me grab, let's see, it should be on my CloudPod recordings. I can't show you the, make sure I don't show any things that I've recorded here in the last couple of days for reasons. So the first one was my normal light, and the second one is my, is the alternate. And there. This is the side by side. And I think I would say I look pretty much the same. The difference is now the background, right? Because the light from this light is also spilling onto the background. So the background color temperature is slightly different between the two, but my face is the same. And I was able to do that because I can control both the light and the camera and adjust them together by looking at the numbers. So that's, yeah, it's subtle. The background's not that different, but I think you can tell mostly in this color. Can you see my cursor? Where is it? There it is. That part where it's the, that pink color is pretty different. I guess you can kind of see it in the green of the map too. Yeah. I should put this back before I forget that I've changed my white balance. So let's go back to, let's go back to white balance 5000 in the camera, and now I look really blue. So I can bring the light back down to 45. If we can confuse Aaron a bit more, he will play the Rode unit by mistake. I do not want to play the recordings of the videos I filmed yesterday. We've tried for months to get stuff out of him on Rode, and we have failed. I hope I can hold it together for another hour, and then on Tuesday, I can spill all the beans. Harry says, you're doing a live stream with a guest. What are some ways for them to see a video that you are showing in your audience in real time? No StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard makes it easy. StreamYard is definitely the easiest way to do this. And then now there's a couple of similar ones, like Restream has Restream Studio. So if you're not using StreamYard, then you're basically in full on like production mode. Actually, no, that's not true. The YoloBox has the guest feature, which would also do this. The YoloBox remote guest feature works very similar to StreamYard, as in like you just send them a link and then they can join from a browser. And then they will see whatever's being streamed. They'll see it in their browser. And so other than that, that brings you into broadcast world, which is I've been doing an experiment last couple of times I've had this need to do the setup with Zoom and Zoom ISO. So I actually did this for Lily last week. She's traveling and she normally does her stream from upstairs, and she's remote now. And I was like, should I give her the Director Mini? But that's going to require like an extra power brick and extra HDMI cables and a bunch of extra setup. And I was like, well, what if instead of having her run the stream remotely with all of the challenges and that entails, because she's also like just got a backpack. It's not like she doesn't have a lot of luggage capacity. I was like, what if we just bring her into her own stream over Zoom? So what we did, and I wish I could have, I had work meetings until super late, and then I had to just go straight into her live stream. I was going to do a behind the scenes stream of her stream. I just did not have time to put that together because of how absolutely ridiculous my schedule was. But I did get a photo. I promise I'm answering your question. This is a long way of answering your question. I did get a photo, which I posted in my members Discord. That was the one sneak peek you got of that event. Actually, I might have some more photos on my phone now that I think about it. But here's at least one photo. So, yes. I'm just trying to make sure nothing's on my screen that you shouldn't see. Really don't want to break my NDA. So this is my monitor that, like, you see it here. It's this that monitor. So what I did was I created a Zoom meeting and then just had her join the Zoom meeting from her laptop. This is actually her laptop camera. She was going to use her iPhone, but it wasn't doing the iPhone wireless camera thing that, I guess probably because of the hotel Wi-Fi. So ended up just using her laptop camera, and it was good enough. And it looks very high quality, this photo of my screen of her Zoom preview. But she did have her recording gear there, her audio gear. So she was at least able to have a good microphone and good sound. And that was much more important than good video. So from her perspective, she was just in a Zoom call using an audio interface for the microphone. But then what I was sending back to her was her own multi-view. So she could see whether she was on screen, whether there was a video playing, whether there was a side-by-side layout. I actually came and joined the stream for a little bit as well. So I sent myself into one of the inputs. That way she could actually just see me on the screen and we could talk because we're in Zoom. So this was, it worked out really well. And this is using Zoom ISO, which is a separate program from Zoom. But what it does is it means you can break out the individual Zoom guests into outputs from your computer. So you're not just screen sharing a Zoom meeting. But you would bring in whatever you want to share and have your Zoom guests see, you just bring it into Zoom through however. I did it all on one computer, but you could also do this with multiple computers. Like if you wanted to just have another computer join the meeting, you can do that. And then whatever that camera is what they're going to see. So that could be, it could be just a, if you want to have a computer dedicated to sharing the video playback, you could do that too. And they're going to see, multiple Zoom previews on the screen. So it works really well. It worked really well for that, for her being remote. Like Zoom handles bad internet connections really well. So I knew that wasn't going to be a problem. And yeah, I think that worked really well. Laptop camera did fine for Lily's channel. Gwen says Ecamm on a Mac is pretty easy to use. They added Zoom integration a few months ago. You can get Zoom ISO-ish functionality within the app. Oh, that's a good point. I forgot they added that. That is really cool too. Yeah, that's if you're doing a stream in your from your computer. Hopefully that answered your question. Did I get my fans installed into desk racks? No, not yet. I almost did it last weekend after the stream on Sunday, and instead I decided to tear apart the Mac over there and try to replace the drive and RAM, and mostly failed, but it was a fun live stream. A little bit frustrating, but I did fix it yesterday. So now it's working again. It boots up, it runs Mac. It's got 4 megabytes of RAM. It's great. Okay, scrolling through the questions. Let me scroll back a little bit. What lens do I use on the BGH ones that I have? It's all over the place. So I believe the one that's in this main camera is the 12 to 35. That's a good lens. I like that one a lot. But the other ones, it's all over the place for sure. So that one back there is the like kit lens that is the 45 to 105, I think. And I did that because I want to be able to zoom in on stuff on the table here, so I can adjust that. It actually is power zoom, and if I put it on a PTZ head, it's gonna be really cool. This one back there is a 25 millimeter. That's that one. I did that just because I wanted a certain field of view here, so I just found a lens that worked. The overhead is, I think, another 12 to 35. So it depends. Is that 12 or 35, or is it 15? For a long time, I was using the 15 millimeter lens, which I really like that lens, but I think that's not on that camera anymore because it's pretty wide, so it was when the camera was much more closer to me. Matt says, question, follow up, I got my customer who had the Pocket 3, a YoloBox Mini, and we got it all set up and working, but now we're looking for a good SIM data plan that works well and doesn't cost money. Doesn't cost $3 signs. Yeah, I mean, the data plan question is always a challenge, but it totally depends on what area you're in. But it's good to hear that that is working. Don't forget to start your message with the letter Q if you want it to go into my questions column. Otherwise, it's going to get lost in the chat. Oh yeah, vMix did add Zoom too. Heaven Wave Recording, hello from Mexico. Do you know what happened to update 9.5 when my ATEM Mini Pro was working fine? Since that update, it does not stream anymore. Cache goes full right away. Weird. You can actually downgrade just to double check that it is something with that update and not just another problem. If you just reinstall the older version and then update, run the software, the setup app, it'll ask you to upgrade and it'll install the old version. So you can check that. But cache getting full right away usually means your internet connection is too slow or doesn't exist, or something's wrong with the stream key configuration. So check those things first, I guess. Media 7 TV. Oh, Heavenway follow-up. I did downgrade and it still does not stream. So then it's not the firmware. If you downgrade it and it still has the same problem, then it's definitely a configuration or a network issue. Media 7 TV, can you give us the list of 4K video switchers with 4K outputs and UVC outputs that's all in one? 4K video switchers with 4K outputs. I mean, I think the only thing at that point is going to be a big ATEM. If you go to the Blackmagic site and go down to ATEM Television Studio 4K 8, this one, I like to show the back of it. This gives you USB outs and aux outs. SDI, there's your, oh, it's only one, oh yeah, no, 8 aux outputs of SDI, which are going to be 4K. But yeah, it's all SDI. I don't think, if you're looking for something that has also 4K, multiple 4K outputs that you didn't say how many you needed, then I don't think you're going to find anything else. Because the YoloBox Ultra does do 4K inputs. And I guess the HDMI out is 4K, although I haven't actually confirmed that. But it's not an aux out. So depends on what you need the aux for, or the output for, and how many you need. But probably that Blackmagic big ATEM is the one that you're going to need if you actually want to go 4K. Plane spotting. As a creator, what's the easiest way to show super chats on screen from streaming with the YoloBox Ultra? Do you import the messages from a separate device? So the YoloBox Ultra does have the ability to bring in web graphics. So does the Director Mini. And I think they actually finally fixed this in an update. Let me turn this back on and see if I can show you how this works. And we'll see if it works, because it may not. While I'm waiting for this to turn on, do you still have the OBSBot tail airs? Is there any optical zoom? The 4x digital zoom is okay, or is it kind of crappy? The zoom is not the best. Definitely not the greatest, but it is digital zoom. I mean, it depends on what you mean by okay. Optical zoom is always better. How do you always find great equipment for my video production students purchasing the Soonvo M6 right now? Well, I hope you like it, because I don't know if I like it yet. So fair warning. We will come back to that next week, because I will have it for next week's stream. Okay, overhead camera. So I've got the web graphics. That's what I was doing. So here is, I think that's the overlay I use for comments. Your question was somewhere. Where was it? There it is. Darn, not showing up on the YoloBox. Let's see. Let me. I like how they actually added my chat overlay as an example. I don't know why they put this after it. This is not actually very helpful, but that's cool that it's in there. So any of these are, I guess, supported, but if you use my plugin, use my chat plugin, which looks like this, then and use the get overlay URL, then you can enter this into the YoloBox. So let's see if this works. We're going to say chat.aaronpk.tv/overlay, and then I have to type out all these letters. Should have made these shorter. HTV3DJ. And by the way, don't do this like I'm doing it, because this little code is essentially like the password to your chat. So if you enter this URL, then you can also control the chats on my YoloBox. So we're going to enter a name, call it chat, and done. Okay. Now we'll bring that on, and then we're going to go here and click on one and see if it works. Hey, it does. Look at that. And it's even the right size. It used to not be the right size. So it looks like they've done something to fix it, which is great. So now I can click on comments and they show up on the YoloBox. So if somebody sends a super chat, then it'll also work in this. So I can resize the comments. It used to not be, it used to not be possible to resize it to the right size. There is a setting in here, or at least there was, scale, and that just didn't do anything useful. So, but that's cool. They fixed it. Let me get out of this one. Chat overlay multiple chat boxes by social streaming by yeah, his is good too. His works differently than mine. It's based on mine, but it works differently, and his supports way more platforms. So if you need more than YouTube, definitely use his. I mean, a 4-channel 4K UHD live streaming HDMI with picture-in-picture and USB 3 capture card. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, Matt sent a super chat to test it. Wow. Thank you. Let's see if it works. And uh-oh. Oh, I turned it off. Jeez. There we go. One more time. There we go. Look at that. Thanks, Matt. Now I should do it on the actual stream too. But yes, look at that. It shows up in the YoloBox. It's very cool. Thanks for the super chat. What is the story with SRT output on the YoloBox? Has that been only rolled out to some because I can add SRT destinations, but they never show up. Oh, really? That's weird. Since I got this here, let's play with it. I thought I had tested this to my studio already. Add SRT. I can manually do it. It could be that whatever you're streaming to doesn't understand the video format. That can happen. But I was pretty sure I had done this. Let's try. Should I do this? Yes. Let's put output. Super source 2 is going to get my Magewell Pro Convert. So now I should be able to stream into that. Let's try it. I haven't actually used this in a while. It's funny. This is the Magewell Pro Convert, which I should be able to. Let me see. Make sure there's no stream keys in here. SRT listener port 9100. Okay, we're going to turn that one on. So my Pro Convert is a SRT listener now, and I should be able to enter the IP address and port 9100 into here. So let's see if that works. Why did they capitalize SRT? SRT. 10.11.70.77, port 9001. Is that 9100? That would help. And then I think that's all I need. Let's see if that works. Maybe no enter afterwards. Setting. Now I have the Magewell. And oh, there it goes. So I can see that it's getting a signal. It's getting HEVC. That might be why you didn't see anything. And if I go over to the stream, this is the stream from the YoloBox. So the big rectangle is the YoloBox stream. So if I show like lower thirds and stuff, you'll see that's the YoloBox SRT stream. But I'm guessing if you didn't see anything, it's because if you go into the settings, there's a stream encoding settings, encode format. And if you've set it to H.265, but the thing you're streaming to doesn't support H.265, it's not going to show up. So that could be what's going on. Oh, did I misunderstand the question? No, it's if I add them via the web interface, they never turn up on the YoloBox. Oh, I entered that one manually and it worked fine. But yeah, there's also the option of if you go add a destination, you can have it email a link, and then that is, where's my email? That is going to be, copy that link. So that let's see if this works. So I can say Mage, I'll say Pro, convert. Let's see if SRT works. And then here I'm going to do the same thing. It is faster to type this. 70.71, 77, port 9100. And let's see if it shows up in here. So that's successful. Usually it's pretty fast. It is not showing up for me either. I don't know why. Could be a bug. Yeah. So, but I was able to type it in manually and get it to work. That's a bit disingenuous because one can stream SRT with H.264. That's not what I said. I said if the thing you're streaming to does not support H.265 and you're sending H.265, you're not going to see any video. So, yeah, I don't know what is going on though with the sending a link thing, but hopefully you can type it in manually to get it to work. Events Unlimited says, my OC Go Stream doesn't record on SSD. What am I doing wrong? Also, can I record on external SSD via USB USA Post? I don't know what USA Post is. I would just try another drive. I believe they tell you the format that it needs to be. I think it's exFAT. So if it's like a different format, it may not work. So that could be what's going on. What is the size of the drive too? Because I think I saw a limit. Let's see if they say anything in the support page about it. Where was it? Tech specs. Somewhere in here, there's, I thought, SD card format, exFAT. I think that's the same for the drive also. And if I remember correctly, I don't want to go set it up, but the if I remember correctly, there is a setting in the GoStream where you choose whether you want it to go to the drive or SD card. So double check that because that might also be what's going on. Oh, external SSD via USB port. Yes. That should work, but I think there's a setting for it. I don't want to get mine out now because I have too many things on the table already. I'm able to upload files for the card. No matter what card I use, does not record. I'm able to upload files to the switcher. Interesting. Check that setting. I'm pretty sure that's what it is then. Oh, let me scroll back. I missed a bunch of questions. Bullhorn says, I picked up a Mako like you showed last week. How do I tell what is the right USB to DC adapter to get? Polarity is the most important. Polarity and voltage, although I think most of the USB to DC adapters are 5 volts, which is correct. polarity and size. There's a lot of different sizes of the little DC barrels. And as far as I can tell, like, I know there's like names for them. I can never find the names on these listings. So just buy a couple and cross your fingers and return the ones that are wrong. That is my recommendation. Question from Chris. What's the best way to get multiple 2 to 4 NDI streams into an ATEM Mini Extreme? Ooh, multiple NDI. I really, really wanted the Bird Dog Play to be a good option. However, I have not had very good luck with it. It seems to be not handle some NDI streams very well. So unfortunately not, that would be my recommendation. Just buy like 4 of them because they're cheap. However, I don't think that's a great option just because they seem to be very finicky. So other options, I guess, gosh, multiple is, I'm thinking like vMix or something where, or I guess OBS with the NDI plugin, where you also use a deck link card that gives you 4 outputs, but that's starting to add up. The Magewell Pro Convert does handle NDI well. So this, again, let me change this into NDI mode. So yeah, if I show you the Pro Convert will discover NDI sources on the network. This is another Pro Convert. It's Pro Convert encoder, but like my OBS is broadcasting NDI, so I can tell this box to output HDMI from any NDI sources that it discovers. And this thing has been great. I have had no problem with NDI on this. However, it's not cheap, but let me give you a link to it anyway. If I can find it, Pro Convert, Magewell Pro Convert. They have a different models. They have an NDI and HDMI version. So here's the HDMI version. Oh, there's a suggestion for Bird Dog Quad. Is that a thing? I have not seen that. Well, it doesn't seem to be that much cheaper than buying 4 Magewell Pro Converts. $2,000. It's about the same price because those Pro Converts are like $500 each. So nothing is going to be a cheap solution, it sounds like. But I guess in theory, this would do it. 4 NDI outs. Sports. Okay. Well, this is definitely more expensive. So I would hope this will be a lot better than the Bird Dog Play, which is the cheap version. It's not a good sign. It's going on with the reviews. Only full NDI, no NDI HX. Ah, okay. So that's another thing to consider. But that explains why it's expensive. What about KiloView? Oh yeah, they probably do have something. I'm not super familiar with all of their product line though. For Apple TVs, and the NDI app is definitely cheaper than the Pro Converts, but they still add up because you do need to buy the NDI app. I guess you can download on multiple and Apple TVs on the same account. So $100 for the app for Apple TVs. That'll work, definitely work. I've had pretty good luck with that app. So yeah. You can get the quad used for very cheap because for a long time they didn't do what they were supposed to do. That's okay. That's something. Events Unlimited, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Fun questions. Gwen says, the Bird Dog has some announcement recently, and most of the videos I saw about them were started with some variation of they sucked in the past, but yeah. Yeah, the NDI app is one-off purchase. Oh, a Ghost Stream Duet is another good point. You can, well, 1 per NDI. So okay, so it sounds like there's a bunch of ways with about $400, $500 to get 1 NDI feed out into HDMI. but the problem is that I think the Apple TV is the cheapest. What's the cheapest 4K Apple TV right now? I haven't even looked at the prices of these in a while. 4K Apple TV. Oh, that's not much. Get Ethernet for sure. So $150. And $150 per feed plus $100 once for the app. That's the cheapest. So $700 total, and all of the wires that come with it, which is the cheapest way to get 4 NDI feeds into your ATEM. Also, the Zoe box. That is a good point. That one is also about $150, I think. That one was, it's $184 on Amazon. I think it's cheaper if you get it from AliExpress or if you wait for a discount. And I can't remember if this is NDI HX only. Yes, it is NDI HX. That's the other question, is you need to know whether you want NDI HX or full NDI. The cheapest solution is NDI Studio Monitor via HDMI out. Yeah, except that you need to do it. You need a computer for each one, right? You can't do multiple. Can you do multiple on the same computer, actually? Maybe you can run multiple NDI video monitor instances. I've tried this and it didn't work for me for something anyway, so I would not go that route. 85-minute check. Yeah, now we're at 90, so I guess we should wrap this up. The Roland SR20 HD dual streaming encoder switcher audio mixer now is SRT in and out. I have not tried it. That is interesting. I did not know they added SRT. SR20 HD. I think we looked at this last week, right? This is this little box. It is, that's cool that it has SRT in and out. That opens up a bunch more use cases for it. How much is this one? I feel like it was really expensive. Oh, it's not. It's only $1,000. $820 on B&H. Okay. Interesting. I feel like that is one of the cheaper ones I've seen from them. That's cool. SRT in and out on this is definitely useful. Interesting. Cool. Well, that's a lot of good options. On Windows, you can open multiple, but not on Mac. Okay. Okay. We are going to wrap this up. We've been all over the place today. I wonder if you can do some variation of your split a quad 4K into separate 1080 videos instead of 4 NDIs. Yeah, that's the other approach to go if you don't need 4K NDIs. Definitely another approach. Speaking of which, that actually was I'm going to do a video about this, but it's going to be a while before it comes out because I've got a backlog of things to post now. I get questions all the time about how do you bring in multiple cameras into OBS, and it is not practical in many cases to plug in 4 capture cards into a computer. If you have a desktop, you can get that Elgato quad HDMI capture, and Blackmagic has one also. But on a laptop, you have to put that into a Thunderbolt enclosure and then blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, wait a second, you can do it with, if you don't need 4K, you can do it with this video splitter idea. I guess it's the opposite, multi-view. Plug in your 4 video cameras into the multi-viewer, bring the multi-viewer in through a 4K capture card, and then in OBS, you can crop out each of the 4 cameras again. So I'm gonna do a little video about that because I think it'd be kind of fun. And it'll at least be something I can point people to when they ask about multiple capture card. Gotta go get a pizza before 1 p.m. Central. I have a live stream at 1 and 2:30 today. Well, have fun. That sounds like fun. And yes, see you Tuesday. Did I buy a Zoe box? Any thoughts about it? I did buy a Zoe box. It was, it's been a while since I played with it. I haven't actually played with it since I moved the studio around to this layout. But I got one to try out this, this four camera streaming setup of, that's what started me down this whole route of getting this little Mica box to play, the Mario Kart game out with 4 cameras so I can do testing and stuff. But yeah, that was one of the things I was building it for. Streaming a 4K signal with 4 cameras in it and then splitting it back out. And I am impressed with it. It is a good little Swiss Army knife. It can do a lot of different things. I should really bring that back out over here so I can play with it again because it is a cool little box. Spot says, thank you for sharing knowledge. Very, very grateful. Well, thanks for joining. All right. We are going to wrap this up because I have been going 90 minutes and I need to go. And before I accidentally say something I shouldn't and release information too early. So I will see you all on Tuesday. Thanks as always. Thanks to the extreme supporters of the channel, Larry, David, and Marcin. Thanks to everybody else for being a channel member. Make sure you join the members only Discord. I will be posting there throughout the week, sharing little photos of behind the scenes projects I'm working on. And on Tuesday, don't forget to tune back into this channel live for a live demo of a secret product that we have now seen silhouettes of and slight teasers for from Rode. And yeah, only 48 hours more to stay strong. I can do it. I can do it. I'm just unreasonably excited about it. I can't wait. If you are considering buying any gear right now, probably just don't buy anything until Tuesday. Just gonna say that. Just press pause on all your purchases until Tuesday. Don't forget to click the like button. That is a good reminder. Thumbs up the stream. Click the like. Make sure you're subscribed. Check out my other channels down below too. More house updates coming soon. Things are moving along. Hopefully moving along fast this week. All right. Thanks to Matt and Events Unlimited for the super chats today. And I will see you all again on Tuesday. Bye.